With their bicycles accessorized and packed to the max, some solid personal training, and an 8-day 520-kilometer practice ride behind them, Godfrey and Bob Wilson boldly took on Canada.
Well, we got serious about this trip about 2 years ago and started looking at what the routes we would take, stuff that I would need to take.
Here's our trip, Bob.
This whole ride started back in about 1981 when Terry Fox went for his run across Canada. And I said to myself, I could never run across Canada, but I think I could bike it.
And bike it they did. With 65 days of cycling and a few more weeks to enjoy our nation, Brian and Bob cycled about 7,500 kilometers on their journey, and it wasn't all a smooth ride.
The biggest challenges was not the hills that we encountered, but it was the headwinds.
The headwinds are mentally and physically challenging. It's the mental challenge of being relentless.
We had expected to hit a lot of tailwinds through the prairies where the wind was pushing you along, making it easier to ride, and I expected to do some fairly long days through the prairies. What actually ended up happening was at the time when the U.S. was having their tornadoes, and you were getting this counterclockwise rotation coming up through Ontario, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan, so we were into the headwinds all day long at 40 with gusts up to 60, 70 kilometers an hour.
When you ride up a hill, there's the downhill on the other side, which is wonderful. But in the case of the headwinds, you just want to crawl under a rock till they stop. In a personal basis, my biggest problem was taking sick in Saskatchewan. I was under the weather for probably 12 or 14 days, being basically unable to take in enough calories each day, because I just couldn't eat. Ended up losing 21 pounds. We took a couple of extra rest days there in the middle, but as Brian likes to say, suck it up, princess. And I did.
With the intensity of the ride, there naturally came a big energy burn.
What's best about it is you can eat 5, 6, 7,000 calories a day.
You ate just about anything, whether it was butter tarts, chocolate milkshakes, ice cappuccinos, donuts, we ate it all because we were burning it up.
If we could have cooked the roadkill, we would have ate that too. That's how hungry you get. It's everybody's dream.
But as fun as the food was, the real highlights to the trip came in seeing the country.
Part of the highlights were going down the passes, riding in the Rock Creek, riding through the Kootenays was fantastic. Coming down out of the Rockies into Alberta.
Being able to be in Ottawa for Canada Day, that was incredible. The next one would have been going to Quebec City. People were friendly from coast to coast. I was worried when we got to Quebec that because my poor French, or my poor ability to speak French, that we would be in trouble. But we found the people in Quebec were just fantastic. I had several people apologizing to me that their English wasn't very good, as opposed to giving me a bad time for not speaking French. And then the next, I think, highlight for me was seeing the East Coast. Going to Newfoundland was amazing, as well as seeing PEI, the Confederation Bridge. I'd seen it on TV, wanted to experience that.
Probably the best part of the journey for me personally was when my 18-year-old son joined us in Ottawa and rode to Halifax with us. That's an experience that few fathers ever have the opportunity for.
Given the original inspiration behind this adventure, another of Brian and Bob's highlights was visiting the Terry Fox Memorial in Sault Ste. Marie.
You leave off the Highway 1 and come up this hill and look over the big lake, Lake Superior, and see this memorial. It's first class.
Across the country, we were treated with respect and interest.
I think the fact that we were on bikes, loaded down with all this weight, they couldn't wait to ask, who are you? Where are you going? Where have you come from? What's your charity of choice? That sort of thing. So it was a real easy icebreaker to make conversation.
As an extra motivator for the ride, Bob raised about $5,000 for the Nanaimo Travelers Lodge, a foundation he dedicates a lot of his time to as well. And Brian raised over $22,000 for the BC Children's Hospital, a foundation that he has supported greatly through his work as a local realtor.
Just to see Canada and to see what a vast and wonderful country we live in. The people, the geography, that was special.
To find out more about Brian and Bob's cross-country journey or to donate more to their causes, visit the web. In Nanaimo, I'm Derek Johnstone.